133 days since Michael Tuck held the Premiership Cup aloft, and now it's back. Football kicks off under lights at Waverley Park with the opening Foster's Cup match between Richmond and the Brisbane Bears. With the Alan Jeans influence coming to Punt Road, expectations at Tigerland are high. The Bears too have made significant on-field changes with the accent on youth. Whether that is enough to beat the enthusiastic Tigers remains to be seen.
Yes, good evening everyone, and welcome to the newly named Waverley Park for this first round match of the 1992 Foster's Cup. Where does the time go? Just 133 days and we're back into it once again. A most important first up match for Richmond and the Brisbane Bears, because a loss here tonight will certainly dent their early season aspirations. Let's now have a look at the coaches and captains for this match tonight, and one major change you can see there with Richmond. Alan Jeans, the great man from Hawthorn, has now put his weight at Punt Road. His captain once again is Dale Waitman, that is for the season. Roger Merritt will be skipper of the Brisbane Bears, and Robert Walls having his second year with the Brisbane Bears at Carrara. So a pretty good crowd has built up here tonight, and that is good to see. Great enthusiasm already for the game. It's been a long summer, but the wait is over. Now let's talk pre-season. I don't know what their pre-season has been like. They're looking pretty fit though, ladies and gentlemen. Ian Robertson and Don Scott. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Thanks, Andy, and it has been a good pre-season, Robbo.
Well, have we had a spell? It's been amazing, hasn't it?
Not a long spell.
Just seems like yesterday that we're out here for the grand final, but now we're back for the Foster's Cup. Terrific
Certainly
stuff.
does. The good news is too, Rob, we've got quite a few new players to see tonight too.
Yes, Richmond will be looking for a big boost from their interstate influence, I think, Sandy, with Jackson and Bremen coming over from the Eagles. And first of all, we have a look at the Brisbane lineup.
Well, which goes through those new players down there, and Brendon, he was swapped from Collingwood. He was drafted by Collingwood and involved in a pre-season move down there. John Hutton from Claremont, a 100-goal kicker, full forward. Alexander from Collingwood, we all remember him. The young fellow there, White, that's Darryl White, he's from from Alice Springs, and Matthew Rendell.
And of course, Richmond, as I mentioned, I think the key player there will be O'Dwyer, who's come over from Melbourne. He'll have to take the place of David Cloke, who was an excellent player last year for Richmond. Todd Bremen, I think, will be an exciting player for the Tigers.
Right, thank you, gentlemen. We shall take a break. Both sides, incidentally, are out on the ground, so we'll be back with all the action right after this break. Welcome back to Waverley Park. Peter McKenna and Bernie Quinlan will be on the boundary line tonight. Time now to check out the weather with the Mitsubishi Motors ground report. We've had a pretty mild summer, Bernie, and it looks like it's continuing.
Yes, it is, Sandy. Fine and mild conditions are expected for this opening round of the 1992 Foster's Cup. The forecast is for continuing fine weather. The current temperature 18 degrees. We're expecting an overnight low of 14 degrees Celsius. There is a blusterly east to southeasterly wind gusting to 20 kilometres an hour, but there is no goal advantage as the wind is very fluky.
Right, thank you, Bernie. Temperature of 18 degrees. Jeff Caulfield and Greg Scroop, the men in white, in charge. And incidentally tonight, they are wired for sound. They are mic'd up. So you'll hear it directly from the umpire.
Nothing silly. We're waiting for the lights, all right? Nothing silly. All right, Scroopy.
Just interesting, Sandy, some notable changes. One is of Michael Gale. He's playing at Brendon Gale, I should say. That's his brother. But Brendon's playing at centre-half back on Roger Merritt. He played at centre-half forward last year.
All players naturally pretty tense, keyed up. Solid pre-season behind them. It's now down to business. Matt Rendell looking to resume his career with the Bears. Steve O'Dwyer continuing his with the Tigers. Those two for the opening bounce. O'Dwyer comes over the top and goes down towards half forward. It eludes Gastev. A chance for Ashcroft to get the ball back in towards the centre. He does so. McLean pushes further forward. The Bears will probably start underdogs in this game, but they've got it across half forward at the moment, only momentarily, as Robert Walker clears for the Tigers.
Walker gets the ball towards Bannock. Bannock under lots of pressure. Good work by the Bears forward to make Richmond work very, very hard to clear it out of defence. And that kick being forced over on the full. So the free kick will go back there to Richmond, taken by Brian Lees. Lees, of course, who has been a fairly regular member of the Tiger defence. Kicks the ball in towards the centre. Punched forward there by Stephen Ryan. A struggle between centre-half forward and centre wing for possession. Now Wakeman, was that a throw? It was. Umpire right on the ball there. And the free kick has been awarded to the Brisbane Bears to be taken across that half-back line. And the ball being relayed there by Zanotti, and it'll go to Rendell. Rendell just wide of centre-half back.
Played 164 games with Fitzroy and has been persuaded to come back.
You're right there.
Robert Walker.
That's it.
A likely-looking type, that young fellow, Sandy.
Going short. Yes, well, it's a big test for a lot of youngsters tonight.
There, John.
They're my quiet tip, Sandy, to make the 6, Richmond, this year.
Craig Smith. Up over centre. Rendell trying to do the work from behind. Knight's called for it and he takes it. On he goes to Bannock. The Tigers through the centre, up to the half-forward line. Close to 50. They need runners. Hamilton in trouble. His handball is not a good one to Gale. He gets claim, goes to ground. Good tackle by Ashcroft. Bannock under pressure. That was not a throw. That was Gale taking it from Knights. Plenty of fumbling, plenty of nerves. Almost thrown out, but now here's a chance for the Bears to sneak away. They've got it up towards centre half forward, but haven't been able to get past. Leeds does it easily. Advantage will be paid, but away comes Walker again.
Good play by Walker, but a poor kick, and it lands in the arms of Rendell. Rendell is probably too far out to score. He kicks it to within scoring distance now. It's not bad. That should be a kick there to Cameron. If it wasn't a mark, it certainly finished up as a free kick.
And his opponent is that youngster that's already come under notice, Walker. There he is, Robert Walker.
Was he a bit loose there, Don,
he was just a little bit loose, wasn't he? But he's got to learn, as well as picking up kicks, he's got to get back. And there he is, Cameron taking the mark, and Walker just a little late on the scene.
There's good hands, David Cameron, and big chance here to kick the first goal of season 1992. The shot is okay. Cameron's happy. It's a goal to the Bears. So David Cameron gets the first goal of the match, and the Bears lead by that score.
Well, David Cameron, a will-o'-the-wisp, formerly from Geelong in his second season with the Bears, and there's Rendell. It's a nice kick from Rendell. And Cameron, one of those players that does play in bursts.
Good free, Brett. Advantage. Good free.
Looks pretty fit, David Cameron, doesn't he?
A good start by the Brisbane Bears. David Cameron getting their opening goal. O'Dwyer again winning the ball out of the centre. Gastev goes through, tries to shrug the tackle. Waitman gets him at the second attempt. Incidentally, for those people wondering why Richmond are wearing black armbands tonight, in recognition, of course, of their former player in Richard Nixon, who was so tragically killed. So to Richard's family and friends also go our deepest sympathies and condolences. Well taken away by Corey Bell, up towards centre wing for the Bears. Almost thrown out once again. Walker handled it very quickly. Pushed wide by Gale, towards Bannock on the boundary line. May just keep it in play for 10 or 15 metres and eventually seen over by Stephen Ryan.
I know we've only played 5 minutes of this first quarter, but the Bears look really impressive at this stage. They look a little fitter, a little stronger.
O'Dwyer doing the work from the back with both hands. Again wins it. Ashcroft gets a hurried kick. Gathers probably 25 metres down towards the 50-metre line. Tiger defence being tested early on in this game. Over the line once again. Troy Clark, another youngster for the Brisbane Bears, sees it over. So the big early prediction by Ian Robertson, the Tigers to make the 6. Gee, and we played, what, 3 minutes of football?
Oh, no, I liked their year last year. They had 9 wins and they played pretty well. So they don't have to improve that much to make the finals, I don't think. 2 or 3 extra wins would give them some chance.
Well, I'm sure their fans will be hoping for big things, particularly with the Alan Jeans influence coming to Punt Road. Cameron actually went for the ruck work on that occasion. Gastev lost it, goes in after it once again. Eventually up in towards the pocket region. That'll be close to the boundary line on the full, just touched. And another throw. There is the Tiger Brains Trust, former champion, former coach Francis Burke, and now current coach Alan Jeans.
And also a newsagent.
They're everywhere.
Cameron got the tap down. Free, clears for Richmond. Walker's underneath it and takes a good mark. Under the opposition there of one of the Bears' recent acquisitions, Brendon Retzlaff. The ball goes wide to Turner. Turner's sweeping hand pass. Knights, who's a very creative player across midfield for Richmond. A kick into the forward line, and the mark has been taken there by Jackson. Jackson from the West Coast Eagles. Handball. Good running. The ball, long kick. It's close. It's helped over in the finish by Alistair Scott. And the kick coming in there from Menegola.
That was bad luck for Scott McIver because he just slipped at the critical moment when he's trying to punch the ball away from Jackson. It was on the ground as Jackson took that mark unattended.
Menegola, Don, unfortunate last year, suffered
well,
some
I
injuries.
was impressed with him in these pre-season games, but he hurt his knee and didn't play as many games as he would have liked.
First score on the board for the Tigers. Menegola getting it behind. Rendell soccers off the ground down towards centre wing. Ryan tries to flick it back, then goes in to apply the tackle on Gastev. Also with him was Brian Lees.
Lees had a tagging job last week, Sandy, on Bairstow, but he's lined up in the back pocket tonight. He was tagging in a couple of games towards the end of last year too.
Bounce once again. Rendell got front spot on that occasion. Clark pushes forward, taken away by Bannock, a very solid player. They'll be looking for big things from Bannock this year at Punt Road.
He's hurt too, Anthony Bannock. He's very slow to get to his feet back on the half-back flank.
Yes, in the hands of the trainers at the moment.
Richard Loveridge, the Richmond runner, out with him too.
And more of the Hawthorn influence coming to Punt Road. He seems to be okay. That's good news. Rendell again, eyes on the ball. Lambert at the bottom. Again, very briskly claimed by Campbell. And another bounce.
Stephen Jackson in the picture there. O'Dwyer doing a good job. Rendell working hard for his side. Lambert tries to get clear. Sweeping hand pass, not bad. Lees, a kick from a standing position. Waitman, hand pass, broken down by Campbell. Little hand pass to Cameron, put him under pressure. Lambert the tackler. Smith in trouble. Ryan gets the ball away for the Bears. The kick to half forward. No mark taken there by Merritt. Here's a chance for Ashcroft. Very good player, Ashcroft, and much improved over the last couple of years. Hand pass is not bad. Handball over the top by Cameron. Crashing through was Bannock. Good play. Ball rebounds to Gastev. Gastev's high kick towards half forward. No mark taken. Falling over was Hamilton. Kick off the ground for Richmond by Free. And the safety of the boundary line.
Very impressed with the Bears, especially across half back there. The tackling was ferocious. Really put the Richmond players under pressure. And also the way that Merritt and Curran went for the ball. They've only got eyes for the ball. They're a different side. I know it's only early.
O'Dwyer got in front of Merritt, who's lost the moustache. Ashcroft has lost it.
Let you go.
Craig Smith from half back. Floats a drop punt, or Rendell
He's back.
will take an obvious free kick.
Right there, Stephen. Stephen Jackson, as you can see, arm first, but the umpire said in the back, as we heard.
Rendell looks pretty
That's
fit.
That's it.
And he sends the Bears into attack. Down towards the 50-metre line. He wanted Merritt, who was quick to recover. And he's got support in Curran, who dashes towards goal and then puts it out of bounds on the floor.
Well, he read that well, Robbo, but he's picked up a yard of pace, hasn't he? Because that's his problem, Peter
I think
Curran.
that was the key, Don, that he read it well. I mean, if you can read the play, certainly you're going to look a bit quicker than you really are. But he's a important player, as Peter Curran for the Bears, very experienced. Here we see Turner kicking the ball back into play for Richmond, outside the 50-metre line. The ball rebounds. Hamilton can't do much with it. Hamilton for the Bears. Gets it to Ashcroft, and Ashcroft kicks a goal for the Bears.
Well, as Ashcroft was kicking that, there was a little bit of by-play between O'Dwyer and Rendell behind play. And there's Marcus Ashcroft. And here it is. There's the one from O'Dwyer. The ball spills out, kicked off the ground. Hamilton quickly across to Ashcroft. And they are impressive, the Bears.
Yes, they're running a lot better than Richmond at the moment. Richmond not getting much from players like Lambert, Waitman, Knights, who are all on-ball players. Bears 2 goals straight, Richmond 1 behind. Good bounce back in the centre. O'Dwyer's won 3 distinctive knockouts from there, but Tigers not doing very well at ground level at all. And the Bears get clear again. The ball goes towards centre half forward, but the mark is taken there by Walker. He goes to play on and kicks it high, but it slews off the side of his boot. Finishes out there with Smith. Now it's Lees. Lees kick towards half forward. Was it a mark to Jackson? Maybe it was a free kick.
Holding by McIver.
And Jackson has the ball. He's doing well for Richmond. Kick towards full forward. No mark taken by O'Dwyer. Picked up by Knights. Knights inside 50. Goes for goal with the left foot. Hooks the kick. And it just bounces through for a behind. Second behind on the scoreboard for Richmond. Matthew Knights, who was a surprisingly good vote getter in the Brownlow medal last year. When I say surprising, he wasn't mentioned in the betting at all, but finished up with something like 17 or 18 votes.
Campbell brings it back into play. There was some pushing and shoving going on there.
But surely the advantage should have been paid on that occasion, because it was Rendell who got the ball over and it was in a Brisbane Bears player's hands.
Danny Noonan, yes, thought he could scoot away with it, but it's got to come back to McIver, who again puts the Bears down into their attacking zone. Walker has been very busy. That hand pass goes astray. An opportunity for Clark. He does well. Sends the Bears deep into their attacking zone once more. The big fist comes over the top. Cameron is lurking there. So too also is John Hutton.
Interesting player there, the helmeted Hutton. He's very short for full forward. He kicked 100 goals with Claremont last year. They were a premiership team. You can see there again Scott Turner. He's not tall, so he'll have to rely on his leading.
From the throw-in, trying to barnstorm his way through there was Stuart Maxfield, and gets a free kick for his troubles. Maxfield goes in towards the centre. Clark will get a free kick. He too has started off in busy fashion. Campbell kicks up towards half forward. Hutton the flyer, couldn't complete the mark. Loses the football, however. O'Dwyer a solid tackle. Cameron under pressure, tries to get it to McLean. He was ridden into the ground, and that'll be pushed over the line for a defensive behind.
From Brisbane Bears side.
Well, we've been used to them kicking across the ground, haven't we? Watching them at Carrara, but
Well,
they're much more
stronger,
direct.
don't they? And they're going hard for the ball.
Kick in done by Turner towards this near side. No mark taken by O'Dwyer, but good body work. Opened the way there for Lambert. Lambert's kick towards half forward. Not too bad. Smith the opportunity to run onto the footy, but in the finish, his kick was, well, not what Craig Smith would have liked. You can see by the look on his face there that he's disappointed with his effort.
The intent was right, wasn't it? He was looking in towards the centre, but the execution just not quite up to what it should
have been. And maybe early doors in the season, the guys do make a few little errors like that. Zanotti's kick, nearly marked by Rendell. Bears come away from half back, trying to force the ball forward. Maxfield in there, doing some heavy body work again. Lees over towards Lambert. In comes Free, good play. Unselfishly to Knights. Knights a shocking kick. Hogg. Back there for the Bears is Lurs. Now Campbell. Campbell gets the ball away to McIver. McIver's quick kick goes to the vacant wing area. Cameron gives it away to McLean. McLean running through the centre. Short kick in towards full forward. Hutton. Good lead, good pass. You're right there. He marks on his chest 50 metres from goal.
What about the build-up? What about the build-up? It's not bad, is it? Very, very slick play and well finished off. Hutton getting in front of Turner.
Hutton from 50 metres. Let's see what the Sandgroper can do. Nice looking kick off the boot, but floating away with the breeze, and it's out of bounds on the full. Free kick to be taken back there for Richmond by Walker.
He's got the reputation of being able to kick goals from 50 metres out. That wasn't a problem. He was right on that 50-metre line. Just the accuracy was a problem.
Now that guy ran over the mark.
Now, did he ever come into play?
I think he did. Well,
I don't think he came into play.
Well, the central umpire has given the boundary umpire the all clear to throw it in.
He's miles out.
Well, anyway.
It's only early days.
I think the boys might have a replay of that at training, at the umpires' training during the week.
As we've said, very early days. Clark spills it, tries to go in and get it again, but Ryan takes it away from him. Hamilton's kick goes up towards centre wing. Gastev won't get there in time. And we've got another throw in, this time on centre wing. With the Bears holding sway at the moment. A very enthusiastic first quarter.
The footy, fellas, concentrate the footy.
O'Dwyer again. He's started off pretty well. Free's kick goes up towards Waitman now with a chance. Gives it away once again to Maxfield, who stabs in towards full forward, slews off the side of the boot, goes into the left forward pocket and out of bounds. And marks Zanotti.
It was good play, well set up by O'Dwyer, but he was just going that bit too fast, Stuart Maxfield.
Can we have another look at the hairstyle of Mark Zanotti?
It's almost Chinese.
Well, he did go to China with his girlfriend over Christmas, so he's got that Mandarin influence, Andy.
Big load. Hogg acrobatically pulls it back round the body, straight to the man in question, Mark Zanotti. He's a wild-looking man. They're out of trouble once again. Kick by Lures goes up towards centre wing. Knights now the opportunity. He's got a bit of time. He steadies. Kicks long in towards full forward. It gets to the square and right mark taken by Dale Waitman. The experience of the Flea.
And I'm sure Dale wouldn't mind if we gave his little tavern out there in Croydon a bit of a rap. He's just gone into a business of his own. And, well, let's hope he does well.
Tommy Brew Lane, Croydon.
Let's hope that it goes better than that kick.
I think he might have had a few before going to the football after that, Sandy. 2-1 plays 3 points.
Brisbane have made a change. Corey Bell's gone off and Colin Alexander coming on, the former Collingwood Rover.
Gamble again to bring it back into play. Mark Zanotti.
Back a metre, back one. Play on.
Again, opting to go short, but effective to Danny Noonan. Wants Gastev. May finish up because it clean bowled a couple. Gastev gives away the free kick. He had to try and stop the run.
Right there, Roger.
Stephen Ryan held. The football not inside. Ryan's kick down towards half forward. Ashcroft soccers off the ground. Hamilton gives it away. Rendell kicks up towards Curran, who takes the mark at centre wing.
He's doing well early too.
Just forward of centre, Peter Curran. Now puts them inside 50. He wants Hutt. Flew a little bit early. They got the players at the back. Alexander's on. Oh, he can't quite get there, but he's still in there battling, and eventually it's thrown over the back ball for a behind.
Colin remonstrating. I think he's got just cause to remonstrate too.
And he's now going to be given a free kick and 50 metres against Colin Alexander. It's soft, Robbo. You're looking somewhat distressed.
It's just over-officious umpiring, I think. I mean, they're out there to do a job, not to be noticed by the crowd and the players. Free has the ball at centre-half back and kicks it to centre-half forward for Richmond. Gastev over the top, can't mark. Clark's in there. Kick off the ground came from Smith. Landed in the hands of Jackson. Jackson's kick is a ripper. He did spot Benegola. He couldn't quite take the mark. Here's a chance for Wakeman. Will he miss this? Oh, Dale does it again.
Actually, that was bad play by Gastev back at centre-half back there. He was in a position, he was caught behind where he should have punched the ball forward. Tried to mark it.
Well, Richmond have had a couple of chances, but they've only managed 4 behinds as Matthew Campbell kicks in. The Bears are 2-2. Campbell's kick goes outside 50. O'Dwyer tries to punch it back. Not bad play. Handball by Jackson was good to Menegola. Menegola's kick. Oh, he just gets there. Well done, that mark by Scott. Hard up against the boundary line. He had to really stretch for that. This young man from, well, very well-known territory down there at Inverloch. About 8 miles from where I was brought up, Sandy, Monthaggy, and this young man, 8 AFL games. And can he bring up the Tigers' first goal of the night? A wobbly-looking kick, floats across the face, but it's been marked by Jackson, and he's done very well so far in this match. Could be an important player for Richmond, obviously sensing that he's got another chance to play AFL footy.
Close to Danny.
And still only a fairly young person too, Don.
Very impressive in his first game. Actually, it was against the Brisbane Bears up at Carrara.
Jackson from about 12 metres out, and he misses badly.
Well, there's been 3 shocking misses by Richmond. There should have been goals, and that was one of them.
4 scoring shots to 5, and they trail by 9 points.
Bernie did mention early that breeze down at ground level was very fluky, so players obviously having a little bit of difficulty coping with it.
Campbell, nice kick back into play. Had their opportunities. Bannock tries to storm his way through once again. Here's Smith.
Good smother.
Eventually gets it away. Smith going through once again, but he this time lost out to Clark, who puts it wider for Matt Rendell. Rendell, a little bit of space. Goes onto the left foot. Back in towards half forward. Mark almost taken by McLean. Knight's in there working hard, and he does well. He gets it out to his teammate and Tony Free, and again they drift the ball up towards half forward. Waitman down in front. Look at the experience and the work of Waitman. He'll get it. Too far out to score. Goes inside 50 though. No mark taken. Jackson towards goal. Is that the first for the Tigers? For 92 it is. Stephen Jackson gets his first and the Tigers, and they close the gap to now just 3 points.
Well, it's good to see forwards attack the ball, and here it is. That's Hogg behind. At least he spoiled the Brisbane Bears defender who was in front. The ball spilled out to Jackson. The opportunist on that occasion, his first and Richmond's first. But it's good to see Hogg really attacking that ball hard.
So back in the centre, it's taken Richmond the best part of the first quarter to get their first goal on the scoreboard. But it's there. 1-5 plays 2-2, under 4 minutes left. Cameron under pressure. Not bad pressure by Lees either. The ball forced forward by Richmond. Gastev's a chance. Tries to, well, he did eventually dummy the handball. Kick it quickly, Johnny, he does. Up towards centre half forward. No mark taken, but a free kick is going to be awarded to Merritt. Oh, that was a handy little one too on Gale. Experience. Kicking towards full foot. Surely that's a free kick to Hutton.
Yep. Well, I thought it was a toss of the coin on that occasion.
Well, if you play in front...
Look, they started together and what they locked hands. Look.
Oh, Don.
Locked hands. It's like a boundary throw-in. Who's holding who?
Well, I suppose we're looking at the glamour of full forwards to be protected just a little bit more by the umpires, and this time Hutton gets the benefit of whatever doubt there was there, and he'll shoot for goal from about 20 metres out. Hutton.
Problem.
Well, justice prevails. He misses. 2-3 plays 1-5.
4 points favouring the Bears. Turner brings it back into play. Scotty Turner into the outer side. That ball sitting in the breeze.
Let him up, get off him, off, hey, let him take the kick.
And if he's not careful, Alexander will get himself 50 metres.
Get out of there.
He's got the ball.
Good effort by Alexander.
Started the evening on the bench. Kicks now from 52 metres. It's a long kick. He pulls it back. It's going to be very close. One behind. 2-4 plays 1-5, under 3 minutes remaining. In what's been a most entertaining first quarter.
Actually, both of these teams seem to have done pretty well over the summer with their transfers through the draft and what have you, don't they?
Yep.
19!
Mike McLean.
You're right there.
Again to give the Bears a chance. Hutton gives him a lead. Little too far for him. And Cameron. Alexander lurking at the back, and he's quick, and he should goal, and he does.
Well, Colin Alexander, poetry in motion. He couldn't believe it. It stuck to that right hand. That was a high ball coming in from McLean. Hutton in there. They're all flying. And watch the way it comes up into that hand. Look, couldn't believe it. Just too quick on that occasion. The ball was running, Tony free in hot pursuit, but just couldn't nail him.
Thanks. So a great goal kicked there by Alexander, the Brisbane Bears third, and showing Tony Free a clean pair of heels to get through and kick the goal from the square. Hamilton tries to get the hand pass away. No nonsense stuff by Rendell. Good grab, Curran. Away to Cameron. Cameron's kick, short. Noonan underneath it. Hutton flies, can't mark. Bannock's in there. Just looking a little suspect after that heavy knock earlier in the quarter. Goes in after it again though, Anthony Bannock. And a crunch of players, 4 or 5. Umpire will call for a bounce.
Matthew Knight seems to have the job on Michael McLean because McLean's gone in the forward pocket and Knights has followed him down there. They both lined up in the centre.
Under 2 minutes left.
Lee's on the ball too.
26 handballs to 18 in Richmond's favour so far. Gastev nearly run down there by Smith, but he gets out and gets himself some space. Kicks it into the pocket, a little bit too far. Alexander! No. Had a crack at it from mid-air, but just slewed off the side. And it's a free kick for out of bounds on the full to be taken back there for Richmond by Turner. That's Scott Turner. Long kick by that player to half back. No mark taken at the back by Curran. Oh, O'Dwyer goes over the top of Curran. Knee into the head. Noonan centres the ball beautifully. No one home for the Bears. In comes Free. Great tackle. We heard Don Scott mention in the background. Knights across through back pocket. Kicks it out of bounds on the full. Well, I'm sorry, Sandy, it was you, was it?
Back you come on! 5 metres back, 5 metres!
Brendon.
Hey, I was calling you back! Listen to what
Merritt alone. And the goal they've just scored, if they get one here with just a minute or so to go, very handy for the Brisbane Bears.
Peter Curran's ear still very sore. You see him on screen there. I can vouch for the fact that they really do hurt when you get a knee across the ear.
Roger Merritt, at times last year, single-handedly carried this side.
He's got a broken finger too, Sandy. He sustained it last week.
Across the face. It's coming back and hammered over the line defensively for one behind. 3-5 plays 1-5. 2 kicks in it. Turner again. Straight down the middle. Lovely kick. Who's at home? Ryan almost took the mark one-handed. Back in towards Hutton, who tried to flick it wide, then recovered, but he's beautifully tackled. He ran into it. Alexander working hard. They're still in there. Noonan has a snap at goal. Looks pretty good. Another one to the Bears.
And Hutton involved with Bannock. Hutton, a very strong player down there. He laid a really strong tackle early. Showed a few clues, and when he went for that ball, tried to tap it over with his left hand, and then a little bit of harassment on Bannock, and you see there a little bit of ill feeling between the players. But the Bears came on top on the score, out on top on the scoreboard.
The rough diamond was in the middle of all that. Stuart Maxfield with the long hair flowing, wasn't he, eh? He thought he was going to have a little bit of fun there, Sandy, I think.
He's keen.
Eh?
Well, the bottom line is the Bears have got another goal, and they've opened up a 3-goal break with just seconds remaining.
Clark in trouble.
And there is the siren. So a very good first quarter here for the Brisbane Bears at Waverley Park. At quarter time, they lead 4-5 to Richmond 1-5. Four individuals have booted the Bears' goals, namely David Cameron, Marcus Ashcroft, Danny Noonan and Colin Alexander got a late one in the quarter, while for Richmond, Stephen Jackson has their solitary goal. 4-5 to 1-5. Bernie and Peter down on the boundary line. Gentlemen, what news do you have?
Yes, thanks, Andy. Well, those players who missed those goals can be excused because the conditions are very blustery down here at ground level. Robert Walls was very pleased with the endeavour shown by the Brisbane Bears in that first quarter. He wants every kick out to come to this grandstand wing where Peter Curran will be positioned. Peter?
Well, Alan Jean, surprisingly, Bernie was cool, calm and collected, but he really gave them a few football lessons out there. Said it's a man's game. You've got one man to mind to actually man up. He wants them to be more constructive with use of the handball and to get their run-on game going straight down the middle of the ground.
Thank you, gentlemen. A reminder too that these quarters are 4 by 20 minutes with time on added. There will be no drawn games, however. We'll have 2 5-minute periods with time on to be played should scores be level. But here we go, second quarter of this first round match of the Foster's Cup, and it's the Bears with a handy 3-goal lead. Those blustery conditions, it'll be interesting to see if the end that Richmond are kicking to this quarter is favoured at all. McLean trying to get out of a sticky situation. Goes over the top of Cameron. Working hard is Colin Alexander. Still sockers it back. Noonan takes the mark.
That's it.
He's 60 metres out. He's going short. He wants Hutton. Got a hand to it. Waiting down in front was Ashcroft. Kicks in towards the pocket. No mark taken. Oh, Alexander went through, but without the football, it could have been costly for Richmond. Ryan gets a bad bounce. With him is Clark. So too Cameron. He's had a pretty good game so far, Cameron. Back he goes to Clark, who's been busy. Has time to size up the situation. Kick in towards half forward.
He's a great improved player, Sandy. Clark just going on the first quarter that he's played. Last year he was a little at sea, but he's really worked hard over summer, and geez, much improved player.
Gale free and Knights. Now Richmond surge forward, up towards full forward. Over the back it goes, into the pocket, and it's taken over the line.
Should have made a little bit more of that, I think. Matthew Knight's clearing out at centre half forward, and the ball's now in the right forward pocket. Boundary throw in. Rendell gets the tap down. Lambert trying to find a little bit of space for himself, gives the handball away to his fellow left footer in Knights. Kicking to full forward mark. Richmond taken by Hogg. Good player, Jeff Hogg, and it's been his first real chance to show us anything so far in the match. He's marked at about 20 metres out directly in front.
Value of playing in front too, Ian.
Stephen. You're right,
Played a
Mark.
lot of the
Mark, you're
season last year at full-back, much to the disdain of the Tiger supporters.
That's it, Mark.
Hogg, usually a pretty good kick for goal. He makes no mistake. So Jeffrey Hogg gets his first goal for the evening, and Richmond trail by 12 points.
Well, he has done well in practice games, Jeff Hogg. Here it is, more or less a miss kick, put up in the direction of goal. Didn't really come off the boot properly of Matthew Knights, but then again he was in front, Jeff Hogg. Kicked 6 goals in his first intra-club game in 3 quarters and 7 goals last week. It's not a bad effort.
I got it, Scrutiny. Wait for me. Yep.
The Tigers start to close the gap. They're trailed by 2 goals. Rendell and O'Dwyer.
Excellent.
O'Dwyer's been winning it handsomely out of the centre for his new club.
Scrutiny.
Kicked by Hamilton. Goes down towards half forward, but Gastev is there.
Move out. You're right there.
Johnny Gastev towards centre wing. Almost a mark to Merritt. Alexander is caught.
Used his body well on that occasion, Merritt. The way he started from behind, just chipped in at the critical moment and the ball came to ground. It's a good effort.
I thought it was equally as good an effort by Gale, a tall player, stopping the smaller player from getting away.
And here the umpire back in the back. Free kick goes to the Bears skipper Merritt. He wants Rendell and he's got him. He's off. The Bears are inside 50 once again. Hutton uses the body, almost pulls it in with the one hand, recovers, tries to farm it out to a teammate. Strong work by Knights to go in and get the football. McLean under pressure, gives it away. Here's an opportunity for Retzlaff as he goes in towards goal and puts through a ball.
Must have got a bit of a shock then. I've got the ball. There's no one between me and the goals. What do I do?
Brendon Retzlaff.
It's been a fairly tight contest. You know, there haven't been really too many chances for players to have easy shots at goal. And Retzlaff missing from point-blank range. The kick in by Turner. Out towards O'Dwyer. It'll go over the boundary line without being touched by any player. So it's a free kick to be taken for the Bears by Roger Merritt. Look, no one on the mark. Oh dear, that was bad play by Richmond. And a good mark taken in the pocket by Alexander in front of Free. And Colin Alexander giving Tony Free something to think about in that forward pocket. These Bears small players must be doing all right if they can keep David Bain on the interchange bench, Don.
Well, I'm impressed with his speed. He's really applied himself over summer too, Alexander.
The kick is good for length, but just inaccurate.
In all fairness to David Bain, he really didn't have a good season last year. Not as good as the year before. And when you've got the improvement in like Corey Bell, Troy Clark and Alexander, it really does put the pressure on. But that's what you want in a football club.
4-7 to 2-5 is fight for a position. Bears had the numbers and they've lost it. Rendell thought about trying to flick it off the ground with his boot. The bottom is Retzlaff. Up he comes with it. Formerly with Swan Districts. Another bounce just inside the Tigers' attacking zone. They've got a chance now to go forward. That's lovely team play. Up towards Jeffrey Hogg. Couldn't take the mark. Got the teammate waiting down in front. Away comes the hand pass. Put him under pressure though. Ryan tries to flick it. Can't do any good, and Clark does well. He's been busy. He gets it away. Out in front of Retzlaff. On centre wing. Out of sight of the ground. Up towards Merritt. With him is Gale. Merritt looks for the free kick. Knows he's not going to get it. Then goes on with the job. They've got the players running. Over the head of Peter Curran it goes. This time he loses it. Free. Sweeping hand pass. Ryan. Look at the pressure these Bears are applying. Great tackling. Maxfield in there at the moment.
He's a tough little man, isn't he, that Maxfield?
Another bounce.
Dark Lanes and Stuart Maxfield wouldn't come together too often.
I think it's gone up a notch in the last minute or so this game.
My word.
Good stuff. Bannock wants it flicked out to him. O'Dwyer will accommodate. Anthony Bannock to half forward. Over the top it goes. Jackson couldn't take it. He's got support, however. Menegola. McIver gives it away to Matthew Ryan. His kick is wide. Curran very close to the boundary line. But he's going to be given the kick.
Sandy, that handball from Menegola was a fact of pressure from the Bears because it just went to a Brisbane Bears player. That's what you can do when you really harass the opposition.
Ryan from centre half back for the Tigers kicks it wide to the members' wing. Bit of a run on here. Overrunning it was Scott. Taken away by Lurs. Handball over the top was by Rendell. Back goes Scott. Does pretty well in the body stakes there. Gastev. Handball over the top. Good Shepherd McLean. Gives Rendell the chance. But he kicks it to no one in particular. And O'Dwyer marks quite safely at half back. Sweeping hand pass. Puts Lees under a little bit of pressure. Gets it away to Free. Free's lovely long kick goes directly towards goal. A little bit of interference could have been classified there on Jackson. Dives for the ball, but it goes over for a boundary throw in about 55 metres from the Tiger goal.
Well, Scott McIver holding him with his right hand. The umpire on the left shoulder of Scott McIver and didn't see.
Jackson doing the ruck work against Rendell. Ball comes back towards Wakeman. He just fumbles and nearly got caught, but Knights is there to tidy up for Richmond. Kicks it to the front of the goals. Marking contest. Back there is Clark. Clark short kick. Intercepted. Chance for Lambert. Oh, magnificent football, Lambert. Wakeman passes a beauty. Good play, Richmond. And the mark is taken by Ryan about 40 metres out directly in front.
Just got that little bit of composure, hasn't he, Dale Wakeman? He hasn't played in a proper practice game yet. He's had a bit of a run out, but you could see what value he is. He realised the situation through experience, just slowed down, spotted Ryan and hit him with a good pass.
How about Lambert to get it out of the hot spot? Ryan doesn't mind kicking a goal over Stephen Ryan, and he's put it through. Stephen Ryan, who was one of the AFL's best first-year players about 3 or 4 years ago, had a terrific season in his debut year. Has had one or two. Look at Lambert here. Got it to Wakeman, and Wakeman, as Don Scott has mentioned, was well, had the situation well under control and put it right on Ryan's chest, and Stephen Ryan made no mistake.
Tigers continue to close the gap. 4-7 plays 3-5 midway through the second quarter here at Waverley Park. Rendell again beaten out of the centre. Richmond through Menegola, who initiated the hand pass, gives it away to Lees, who goes up towards the half-forward line. The Tigers down towards 50 once again. Can Jackson keep it in play? He does. His hand pass finds Lambert. Little kick. He had a couple of options there, and he chose Menegola, who in turn wants Hogg. Little too high. Flick towards the back. McIver's got to apply the tackle. Wakeman flicks it back inside. Caught is Smith. Has he got the football? The umpire calls play on. Tiger fans don't like it, and the ball eventually goes over the line in Richmond's right forward pocket. What did you think, Don?
I think it's a great game. I really do love the contest that's down there at the moment. For a first-up game, this is just fantastic.
And if you handball the ball away and you're continually held, isn't that a free kick for holding the man?
Early days, as you said earlier, Robbo. Red slab.
I said early doors, didn't I?
I wasn't going to put you in, mate. Back to half-back. Well, picked up beautifully by Knights, who gives it to Lambert, but equally well done by McIver. This is good stuff. McIver runs down. He shrugs the tackle almost. No, I think he might have got him. Retzlaff continues to go down. Up towards the half-forward line, but only as far as Walker. Gale it is who comes back. Gale's kick. Back towards the centre. McIver again. Stands his ground and takes a strong mark.
I think he's going to be replaced too, McIver. Champion warming up. It's a little bit slow for Jackson, I think, McIver.
Oh, gee, that was a fraction late, wasn't it, by Jackson? Ball at half forward. Gale, good spoil on Merritt, falls over, flips the ball out. That could have nearly been deemed throwing the ball. A fumble there by Stephen Ryan, but he makes up for it, goes after it, collects it, kicks it to centre half forward. Bouncing ball a little awkward for Scott. And then Scott McIver. Now Maxfield, you're just a little overzealous there with the tackle on Rendell, and I think that's putting it mildly. The ball at half back for the Bears. Corey Bell, handball. All Clark fumbles. Wakeman went after him. Here's Maxfield. Handball is good. Wakeman. Handball again. Not good. Chance now for Lurs, who was dominant in a state game last year up at the Gabba. Punched away from the Richmond half-back line by Bannock. Gathered by Cameron. Opportunity for McLean. The bounce was awful for him. In there to help out is Bell. Bell's handball. Cameron under pressure. Look at the tackling. Alexander manages to get his foot to the ball, and Hutton marks on the end of it about 40, maybe 50 metres from goal when he kicks the ball.
A little bit stronger, aren't they, the Bears? Although the pressure is really on. There's a quick pass by Hutton and a good one, Danny Noonan.
Ooh, I think Alan Jeames and Francis Burke would be having a bit of a look around here to see whose opponent Danny Noonan has in the Tiger lineup.
Clark coming off. I wonder if it was that fumble on centre wing here. And I'm fumbling for words too as David Bain comes on.
Not a bad kick by Noonan. It looks pretty good. No. Well, from our angle it looked as though it was a goal, but the goal umpire in a much better position.
41.
Signals a behind. Turner kicks in for Richmond to the far side.
Good looking kick once again. Bain, fresh legs, he'll be keen to get amongst the thick of things. Stephen Ryan sprints across the centre. Long and low up towards the half-forward line, over the head of McIver. A chance for Hogg if it sits. He runs into trouble, but does get rid of the football. Zanotti tried to stab it clear, couldn't do so. Jackson in there working hard. So too Menegola.
God, that's really good tackling, isn't it?
Great pressure. Bain comes away, steadies it down, gives it to Campbell. And he goes up to centre wing, where he finds Curran, who is caught, slung to the ground, but he gets rid of the football. Fantastic this for the first game of the season. Noonan spirals a punt kick, but no one at home. O'Dwyer takes the mark, gives it off to Free. He kicks back in towards the centre once again. Gastev comes over the top with a spoiling fist. Free follows it down and he runs into a brick wall. And he's going to get a free kick for a tackle too high.
I like that. The man making the play. Okay, he was tackled but a little too high and got the free kick.
The Tigers inside 50. Zanotti smothers Hogg. It comes clear. Here's a chance for Alistair Scott. Another one of the Tigers.
Well, he has got a little bit of talent, Alistair Scott, the boy from Scotch College, playing in the forward pocket. 189, 190 centimetres. Gola getting it out, and there it is, the opportunist, number 10, Alistair Scott.
It's amazing the number of times when a person kicks a goal, how many other guys have worked hard to get it to him. 4-8 plays 4-5. Brisbane lead by 3 points. O'Dwyer, who's done very well in the ruck contests, and in the last 5 or 6 minutes has got a couple of kicks and hand passes around the ground. So he would probably be on top of Rendell at the moment. Campbell under all sorts of pressure. Maxfield tries to kick it off the ground. The player underneath all that, I think, is David Bain. Yes, it is. And the man who could probably ride the top weight in a welter. He's built like that. David Bain still getting the football at the bottom of packs in AFL footy. Big heart. A struggle for possession by 3 or 4 players. Noonan can't get out for the Bears. And again, the umpire is going to call for a bounce about 3 to 4 metres from the centre circle. That's Hamilton for Richmond and Cameron in the background. Rendell, O'Dwyer beats him to it, but Bain reads it beautifully. Kicks the Bears up towards centre half forward. Walker underneath it. No, not Payne. Bannock gets the handball away to Free, and Free will clear for Richmond. Kicks it wide towards centre wing. There's 2 Tigers out here. Plenty of space. Smith gathers the football. Kicks it in towards half forward. The pass is all right. Oh, dropping it to Scott. And maybe Alistair Scott should have taken that. You know, it's a lot easier from up here.
It's a good effort by Lewis to just get unarmed to it too.
Boundary throw in at half forward, gathered by McLean. He's been a little conspicuous by his, well, lack of influence on the game. Underneath there is Retzlaff. Jackson, Lambert, another combination, but it finishes with Gastev. I think he must have heard a call and thought it was one of his teammates. Ball goes wide. Tigers again with space. Ryan gathers the footy. Got plenty of time to have a look. delivers it beautifully to Smith. He may kick a goal. Craig Smith, outside 50, long kick. Was it touched by that player? No, it's out of bounds on the full. So the free kick will go to the Brisbane Bears. That's Menegola in the picture, and it'll be taken back there by Campbell.
Robbo, isn't it great to hear that cry, ball again?
Well, footy's alive and well in Melbourne town. Tell you what, they're fantastic, the Melbourne footy public, aren't they? I mean, we've got a pretty good crowd here for the first night game.
And they're certainly getting a crackerjack game. Knights to Jackson. Here they go, the Tigers again. Walker gives it away to Lambert. Inside 50, Scott is there. Lures also.
Good handball.
Perhaps a lack of talking between the Tigers on that occasion brings it undone. Curran in the middle. Retzlaff, he wanted him a couple of times, got him the second. Stabs in towards full forward, the target being Hutton. Now socket off the ground, still on the 50-metre line. Alexander, we saw his dash earlier, brings it back check sidewise. In towards full forward it goes. Gale is there and sees it over the line. With him was Shane Hamilton.
Would you have detected maybe a lack of ability to kick with the left foot by Colin Alexander there?
Well, he was under a fair bit of pressure too, wasn't he? I think he could be right. O'Dwyer and Merritt, lock arms. Don't have to worry about it. Went to the back and Curran. The stalemate at the bottom of the pack.
Soft there. Soft.
Merritt again with O'Dwyer, but it's hammered over the top defensively from behind by Cameron.
Alistair Scott coming off too for Richmond. He's being replaced by Stuart Edwards.
Cameron at the back, Gale in front. Plays on. Free. Can't handle the ball. It does manage to pedal it forward. Ryan trying to use his body. A path opens, however, for Gastev. He just gets his kick in time. Hooks the ball, however, as he kicks it. And it goes back once again to Gale. He's on halfback. Floating kick up towards Jackson. Lambert waiting in front. Gets it down. Waitman gets crunched. Jackson gets the football out again. Maxfield. Oh, he lost it, then he tried to make amends.
Well done.
Free kick to Corey Bell, surely.
That was a poor tackle by the Richmond player.
He's off quickly. Gives it away to Cameron. Centering kick. Looking for and finding Roger Merritt. Play on call and a goal the result.
Well, Merritt in front on that occasion, appealing to the umpire. He got the free kick.
Great call, Jeff.
And the advantage play paid.
It's well done. Good thinking.
You see there the umpires, or hear the umpires congratulating one another on the advantage.
Yes, well, I thought that Merritt was going to take the mark, and it could have nearly been a 50-metre penalty.
So first goal to David Bain. David Bain gets his first goal since coming on, and again the Bears just open up a little bit of breathing space.
Yes, a 10-point advantage. O'Dwyer has the run at it. Can't do much with it. Knights goes back after it. McLean. Knights are still in there. Well done, Matthew Knights. Gets his foot to the ball. Doesn't give it too much distance. Nearly a mark to Jackson from the back. Spins out of trouble beautifully. And then Hook kicks it up towards full forward. No mark taken by Lurs, but he's able to gather the ball and then tap it wide. Chance for Menegola. Skillfully gets through. Shot for goal is offline and through for a behind.
What about Hogg being held on that occasion by Zanotti?
Yes, well, I'm sure that a lot of the full forwards from the past, we've got two champions on the boundary line working for Channel 7 who always look at that sort of thing, not being awarded from down the field, and the umpire's missing a lot of that. But anyway, play goes on. Retzlaff, oh, he left it behind. Bad fumble. O'Dwyer in there. Retzlaff may recover. Handball, punched back in towards the centre. Kicked by Alexander on the left foot then. Wasn't bad. Went 40 metres towards his team's goal. And Bannock. Oh, there's a little bit of how do you do. Brian Lees may have a look and see what number that player was. For
Nick Daffy coming on for Richmond.
Just put in the memory bank. O'Dwyer doing the ruck work. Pulled off it by Curran. Knocked forward by McLean.
Kick by Lees, back towards the centre wing area. Oh, good strong football by Bain. He's lifted the Bears since coming onto the ground. Handball wide to Bell. Bell's left foot kick into the pocket. Hutton surely must take a free kick. And this time, it is awarded to the full forward.
One thing he has done since early in the game is get in front and lead his opponent to the ball, and here he is again. He's in front, and he copped the free kick.
Yes, it's great to see. The Bears have got a little bit of confidence that they've got someone up there that can get the ball and hopefully kick long goals. No, the ball just comes in a little short. O'Dwyer marks and handballs to Lambert. Away to Free. Free's kick to the wing. Noonan maybe playing in a defensive role on Knights now. Knights does a good tackle. Ball free for Jackson. Handball over the top. Tigers a chance. No, Gastev. And strong football again by Knights. Forces Gastev over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in on centre wing. Just inside the players' interchange area. We've got 2.5 minutes left in the term. And the Bears lead by nearly 2 goals. O'Dwyer fumbling. Good pressure there for the Bears by Rhett. At least keeps the ball on centre wing when O'Dwyer looked a chance to put Richmond into attack.
O'Dwyer and Rendell again. Rendell a little bit of a nudge. Curran comes over the top, runs into his teammate Matt Rendell. Chance now for Walker. The Tigers ideally love another 1 or 2 before half-time. Gastev. A subtle flick towards the boundary line. Johnny Gastev will reach a major milestone this season, barring any problems. 10 games for his 100. Lambert at the bottom beautifully to Waitman. That was well done. Off to Brian Lees. Into full forward. The back Zanotti. Goes for the hammering punch. Hogg stays with him. Hogg beats him. Over the top, Waitman into the goal. That's what they wanted. Richmond get their 5th. They again trail by 3 points.
Well, that was a magic handball from Craig Lambert on half-forward flank. That initiated play. Got it earlier to Waitman, who finished up kicking the ball down, and here's Waitman again on the end of it. It's great play from half-forward, and the Bears have made a change. Rendell's off and Champions on.
Three points the margin.
Rendell off too, Sandy. Champion going into the ruck. O'Dwyer came down heavily on Rendell after a contest centre wing, and he was limping.
O'Dwyer wins at Champion, giving away centimetres there. Cameron, a hurried kick to half forward, but only as far as half forward. Mark taken by Gale. Off to Bannock. He hasn't had a major influence on this game to date. Greg Hamilton. In towards half forward. Tigers a chance to snatch the lead here. Jackson wobbles a little left footer, making it difficult for Hogg. He loses it. Waitman comes in, almost tackled high. Over the top he goes. Smith shoots and he goals. Has he goaled? I think he has. Yes, he has.
Well, again, Craig Lambert involved. He was the initiator. The finisher, Craig Smith, former best and fairest winner. Jackson, he's got a lot of talent, Jackson. Let's hope he can be consistent with it. Hogg under a lot of pressure. Waitman, and there it is, the quick one from Lambert. And Smith finishing off. Ashcroft about to come on for the Bears. And going off is Shane Hamilton.
Just under a minute left in the first half of this match. It's been very entertaining. Champion gets the ball down. Play on, says the umpire. Lee's under pressure. Just handballs it into an empty space on near centre wing. Chance for McLean. Good pressure by Maxfield. Well done, Maxfield. There's no way known that McLean was going to do anything constructive with that footy, with that man having a go at him. And it's forced over for a boundary throw in on centre wing. Champion doing the ruck work. Gets in front, but O'Dwyer in the background. The free kick is against Noonan for shepherding O'Dwyer out of the ruck contest. And now a 50-metre penalty because they didn't get the ball back to that man in a direct fashion. So O'Dwyer will come up towards the 50-metre line. He's only going to be about 10 metres short of it by the time he takes his kick. So Richmond a chance to score before half-time. Half a minute left. No, it's broken down because a good mark has been taken back there by Scott McIver. McIver's short kick to the 50-metre line is marked by Ashcroft. That could have nearly been 50 metres against Jackson, but the umpire on this occasion giving Jackson the benefit of the doubt, and Ashcroft will kick from the 50-metre line. He kicks it wide to half-back. No mark taken out here. Keeping his footing was Alexander, close to the boundary line. Can't control it. There's the siren to end a very entertaining first half in the Foster's Cup match, the first match for season 1992, and at half-time Richmond lead by 3 points, 42 plays 39.
Yes, a fantastic first half here at Waverley Park. The Tigers coming back with 5 goals in that quarter. Goals from Waitman, Ryan, Scott, Smith and Jeff Hogg. And they have really set this up for a crackerjack second half. As Peter McKenna walks in with the Tigers, we'll take a break. Richmond a 6-6, 42. Brisbane a 5-9, 39. Half time here at Waverley Park, 5-goal to 1 quarter by Richmond. They've stormed back into the game and taken the lead. 6-6, 42. The Brisbane Bears are 5-9, 39. And we'll take a look at the family tree, the two halves of this draw. I don't know whether it's good to win tonight or not, because the victor will be taking on the reigning champions, night and day champions, Hawthorn. But I'm sure both Brisbane and Richmond will be desperate for victory tonight. Collingwood on the West Coast and Geelong and St Kilda, a couple of big games coming up in that half of the draw. And in the second half, Footscray plays Melbourne, Adelaide and Carlton, Essendon plays Sydney, that match is being played at Leamington, and Fitzroy plays host to North Melbourne. But of course, Foster's Cup action will be continuing tomorrow, and this incidentally is an Olympic Games fundraising match up there in Darwin. It should be a beauty. Collingwood take on the West Coast Eagles, that is in Darwin, and 12:30 is the time for that to be starting. But don't forget, check your local guides. I mentioned those other good games coming up. This one should be a pearler. Geelong and St Kilda, well, both sides fought out some great battles last year, particularly in the finals. That one is on Wednesday night at 8:30, and the other match on the Saturday night, which is a first round match, is between Footscray and also Melbourne. So some great Foster's Cup football action coming away on 7. I mentioned that match tomorrow is a fundraiser for the Olympic Games. Of course, all the Olympic action is coming your way on 7. And speaking of that, we've got a Super Sports Saturday to raise money for the Olympics. That is the Olympiathon, and that Super Sports Saturday is March the 7th. It starts at 7 in the morning and culminates at midnight. It's going to be a marvellous day and night, particularly in the evening. We've got a galaxy of stars and athletes, and incidentally, for the first time, a 90-piece Melbourne Symphony Orchestra will be in our studios in South Melbourne. We're also going to be featuring stars of Phantom of the Opera singing some of their songs on the night. So join us, won't you, on March the 7th. Right, let's find out what's happening in the rooms. And firstly, we go to Peter McKenna. Pete?
A lot happier Richmond congregation here at the moment after the first quarter. I think they're a lot happier with the fact that they worked a lot harder in that quarter, and I think they've got a bit of a problem with the centre bounce. Steve O'Dwyer's getting a lot of the hit out, but they're not actually getting it out, although Craig Lambert's working very, very hard around the ground. Incidentally, Sandy, we mentioned about the black armbands. Well, not only for the late Richard Nixon, one of the former great Tigers here, but also for a former trainer and property steward, a great character around the Richmond area. And that's Bobby Lofton, who died this morning at the age of 73. And so our commiserations to Bob's family.
Yes, thank you, Pete. Bad news for the Tiger camp. Commiserations to his family as well. We'll take a break, but coming up shortly, the little ferret has been at it again. Scotty Palmer. There's more at stake than just winning in this Foster's Cup in 1992. $344,000 up for grabs tonight. The winner will receive $11,000 minimum with a chance to go on and take some of the really big money, and the loser bows out with $5,500. It's interesting to look at the Tabaret betting at the moment. Reigning champions Hawthorn are at 5-2. West Coast fancy themselves. They are at 4s, Geelong at 6s. 8-1 North Melbourne got a pretty good draw. Melbourne at 12s, Collingwood and Essendon at 14s, Kilda, Carlton, Footscray 15-1, Adelaide 16-1, and the Brisbane Bears, who are just trailing at the moment, are the extreme outsiders at 200-1. We've been into the Tigers' rooms, now let's go down into the Bears. Here's Bernie.
Yes, Andy, thanks. No injuries to report from the Brisbane Bears rooms. They look fairly tired as they came in at half-time. I don't know whether the conditions, it must be pretty warm out there, even though there is a very blustery wind. But Robert Walls took them straight in behind closed doors, gave them a bit of a rev up. Obviously not happy losing the lead in that second quarter, but they shouldn't be panicking yet. Their endeavour's been good, and a long way to go in this match, Sandy. Robert Walls certainly will get the best out of them.
All right, thanks, Bernie. We won't hold him back anymore. Scott Palmer has been champing at the bit to get going in season 92, and he's got a beauty to start off with. Scotty, welcome. There was a lot of talk, Scott, at the end of last season about the final six and its workings. What news have you discovered on that this year?
It's still up in the air, Sandy, still up in the air, but the league have very quietly this week given copies of two alternatives to clubs to vote on February the 17th. The old one there is still going from last year, but there's a new one, and I think that's probably what will come to pass.
Scotty, Collingwood, of course, play tomorrow. They too, like Richmond, will be in black armbands?
Yes, for Darren Mullane tomorrow in Darwin, and they'll also ask the AFL if they can wear the black armbands and stand to attention for a minute on the second round match against the Bears as a remark of respect to Victoria Park.
Pies have got a bit of a concern over Tony Shaw.
Very, very concerned over him. They're praying, Tony, that 2 weeks rest will bring the old champion back. He's got a pelvic injury down here that is causing a great deal of concern at Collingwood.
Now, Fitzroy played Melbourne today. How did they fare, Scotty?
They beat Melbourne by 26 points. Satori played well, Abbott played well, Roos did well, Osborne kicked 4 goals, and Gary Lyon went off with a tummy upset for the Melbourne side.
Tummy upset. Now to our Where Are They Now segment, John Ironmonger.
He's going to play with Werribee this year. He's playing down in the VFA. He's signed this week, Sandy. A surprise.
Just to close off, Scotty, Essendon are playing the Crows tomorrow, and the Bombers could be led by a South Australian.
Yes, well, Bomber Thompson, who looks like being the heir apparent out there, is going to his sister's wedding, so it could be Greg Anderson leading the side against the South Australians.
Good to have you back, Scotty.
Keep punching. Keep punching, mate.
We certainly shall. But first up, we'll take a break. Players and umpires back out on the ground. Don, I know you're enjoying this game. First up, let's have a quick look at some of the stats.
Yes, well, it has been a good game, Sandy. The pressure on both sides has been fantastic, quickly running through the stats, fairly even as far as the kicks go. A few more handballs in favour of Richmond. Interesting to see quarter by quarter, because Richmond really did come into that game in the second quarter. Tackles rather even. Hit-outs in favour of Richmond. I think O'Dwyer's got about 16 of those 17 hit-outs.
Seen a couple of 50-metre penalties tonight. But here we go, the second half. The Tigers just putting their noses in front late in the second quarter. O'Dwyer worked pretty well. Doesn't get it clear on that occasion. It's a high ball, still in the middle with Lambert. He shoots it wide. Chance for Lees to get it out to the right half forward flank. Campbell uses pace, still pushing the ball along in front. Running out of room.
One man that's really brought them back into this game, Richmond, is Craig Lambert. He was responsible for that quick handball out of the centre before. Ian mentioned about his quick handball earlier to Waitman. He is really instrumental in bringing this side back into the game.
Brendon got it away to Smith. Now here's a chance for the runners. It finishes with Ryan. A floating kick up towards full forward. Fisted down. Waitman's waiting at the back, but he can't do anything with it. And Hamilton sneaks it away for the Brisbane Bears. Up towards the half-back flank. Coming to meet it, Merritt. Takes it cleanly. Ashcroft flicks it round his body. Towards centre wing. Alexander ripped to the ground. And a fine tackle by Steve O'Dwyer, affectionately known as Straw.
That's really inspirational stuff there by O'Dwyer. Big man getting down to tackle a little fellow again.
No effective winner from that throw-in, so they'll have another bounce.
There's another thing about O'Dwyer, Don. I don't know whether you'd like to make a comment, but he looks as though he's keen to just play footy.
Thanks, mate.
He's been involved in a couple of altercations behind the scene. I think Peter Carrick advanced for a very, very warm ear, and Matthew Rendell just slipped off a little while ago, so he's more discreet, let me say.
O'Dwyer gets it away to Gale. Gastev shows
Good
courage.
effort, good effort.
Well, you taught him for a while, didn't you, Don?
We guessed it.
No. O'Dwyer.
Gee, if only looks could be seen on television, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it? In the commentary box.
Let's hope Johnny Gaftev's all right too. He's up, he's got the trainers around him. He's walking, which is a good thing.
Baines kicked the centre half forward. That should have been a free kick, but the advantage rule has been paid. Up towards full forward. Good body work by Hutton. May give himself a chance here to kick a goal. What about that? John Hutton, magnificent. What a great goal. Kicked by the Brisbane Bears full forward. That's his first goal for the game, but it certainly was a beauty. And the Bears players gathering around Johnny Gastev because they appreciate the courage he showed to take that mark a little earlier on.
Just the picture going out of the picture was that solid bump by Hutton. You can see there he's dwarfed by Turner, but he used his body well on that occasion. His first goal.
Back in the centre, and Brisbane wrest the lead away from the Tigers. Lead by 3 points, 6-9 to 6-6. O'Dwyer doing well in the ruck in the centre. So is Lees in there with the crunch situation, getting the ball clear out towards half forward. The race is on now. Wakeman doesn't bounce too kindly. McLean handles it beautifully and kicks it across his body towards the wing, but a good mark taken by Lees for Richmond defensive side of the centre wing. The pass is all right. O'Dwyer running onto it is free. Freeze kick towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Handled well by Lurs. Handball to Hamilton, puts that player under pressure. In turn to McIver. He's under enormous pressure by Maxfield. Ball comes towards Gastev, and the boundary line was the safety first precaution there by John Gastev. They'll have a throw in about 40 metres around from the Richmond goal.
There it is, Jackson at the back, tries to pluck it out of the air. Does so, gives it to Scott, a high kick. Really goes nowhere. Gastev gets underneath it, can't take it. Lambert in there also. Eventually thrown out. McLean finishes with it close to the boundary line. Pulls it back. Looking for Ashcroft. But it again goes over the line.
I think Richmond, if they can get some improvement from players like Smith and Bannock, young Walker looks a likely prospect.
Yep.
Their youth have to really kick on this year.
Throw in again. Rendell was locking arms with O'Dwyer. Gastev at the back gives it to Mickey McLean. Away they go. Can the Bears form something here? Up towards the 50-metre line and David Cameron. It's a poor bounce for him. It just sits. And it allows Greg Hamilton just to push it defensively over the line. David Cameron kicked the opening goal of the match.
Watch the hold, Danny.
That has been his only score.
Play on.
O'Dwyer, too much height for Curran. Taken by McLean and pulled into the right forward pocket.
We just saw the stats there of David Cameron flash up on screen. They don't look impressive, but what's not being counted is the work he's doing in the centre square. His work in there also has been very impressive, although it doesn't show on the score sheet.
Turner's kick to the half-back flank. At the back is McLean, may run into trouble. Maxfield, when he tackles you, you stay tackled. Knights is away. They can get something running here. Ryan, defensive side of centre, drifts it up towards half forward. Lures, chances his arm, does it well. Picks it up on the half volley, and Rendell takes a good mark. Settling into his new club, done pretty well, having his 12th kick, which is not one of his more memorable ones. Bannock, across half back. Got a player in Smith out wide. Now he could go for a bit of a stroll. He's on the outer wing. The Tigers looking for a score here. Jackson trying to do some fancy stuff. The umpire ignores it. Lures, a tap further field. Back again to McIver. Left foot kick up towards the half forward flank. Anthony Bannock waits behind. Gives it away. And it's Hamilton. They're continuing to be fierce in their tackling, the Brisbane Bears. Rhett, their determination is a credit. McIver almost threw it out. Lees gets it off to Bannock. You can hear Scroopy, that's one umpire talking to the other, saying it's yours. Jackson over the top looking for Lambert. Gastev again over the line.
There's some tight footy played in the last 3 or 4 minutes over there on that far wing. John Gastev trying to give some instructions to his teammates as Alan Jeans looks on. Concentrating very hard on his players and the opposition. Bain, Bell combine at centre-half back. They won't get it out. Good tackle, Maxfield. Tough, hard stuff. And nearly it was Gale's, but he just fumbled. Merritt's handballed at Noonan just a little too fierce. Noonan's kick, marked back there by O'Dwyer, who is doing a fantastic job for Richmond. The kick goes across half-back. No one home. Running onto it was Gale, able to get the hand pass away. Free's in trouble, but he knocks it over the boundary line. And Peter Curran, the Bears player in the picture there, will have a throw in just slightly forward of centre wing in the Bears attacking half.
Duffy has come on for Richmond, and I think going off was Scott Walker. Alistair Scott, I think it was.
Ball at half forward. Walker. It eludes him. Noonan gets a long hand pass out to Curran, but there's some funny business going on behind play. Hutt is being spoken to, and the Bears have lost the run of the ball. And I think that Todd Bremen has come on for a run for Richmond.
It's Walker, I think, in the hands of the trainers. Looking a little sick and sorry for himself.
He's all right.
He's recovered pretty well.
Robert Walker. Got plenty of early touches in this game. Started like a house on fire. O'Dwyer, well, Straubs is just getting better as the night goes on. Gale, centering kick into the middle. And that is Bremen, as we said, had just come onto the ground. Stabs it to Lambert. Good kick. He floats it out wide. The running Tigers are off. Brian Lees. They like it. They love it.
Again, a good build-up by Richmond. O'Dwyer on centre wing, taking a strong mark, then playing onto the handball. They transferred play. And this man here, instrumental once again. He is a very, very dangerous player. And Lees, who started in the back line, now playing up forward, or up around ruck roving position, going into the forward line. A great goal, his first.
Certainly was great play, and Bremen's kick to Lambert with pinpoint accuracy when the kicking is left a little bit to be desired this evening, but Lambert's hand pass was fantastic for Lees, who didn't have to change his stride at all. Lambert again. Hamilton's hand pass a little awkward. Bremen. Walker. In chips Bell. Away he goes to Retzlaff. Retzlaff's little left footer. Puts McLean under pressure. Great play, Bremen. But he's dispossessed. The ball's still at half forward for the Bears. Lambert working very, very hard in close quarters. Knights, the advantage is paid. Bremen, short kick. Finds his target, no. O'Dwyer fumbles. Critical. Ball still with the Tigers. Smith. Out comes Maxfield with the football. A long kick by that player to full forward. Punched away by Zanotti. Hogg in the back. Zanotti knocks it over the boundary line. Here's the hairstyle of Mark Zanotti.
And coming on for the Bears is Darryl White, the youngster from Alice Springs. Peter Curran's gone off.
And maybe Jeff Hogg did have a case there. Mark Zanotti didn't look as though he was attempting to keep the ball in the field of play. Matthew Campbell comes away for the Bears. A high left foot kick back in towards the centre. Punched away by Free. Attempted kick off the ground by Cameron. But what courage by Free. Up towards full forward. Strong in defence, Rendell, but he can't get past. Jackson's tackle was a beauty. Waitman, look at Richmond, irrepressible. Lambert goes to Jackson. Jackson will cap it off and kick a goal for Richmond. Brilliant football by the Tigers up on their forward line.
His second, Stephen Jackson, the centre-half forward, finishing the work off. But again, that little fellow involved Lambert with a strong tackle here by Jackson on Rendell. Waitman involved, Maxwell. Those little fellows certainly have lifted for Richmond since quarter time.
Hey, Hudson, come on, hold him, don't hold him out. Give him a fair go. Next.
Tiger fans are loving this at the moment. Here's Bain, and he stemmed the tide. He loves to run. Spirals it up past Roger Merritt. Clean bowls the lot. Merritt may get another opportunity here. Still going. Now farms it out. Looking for Hutton. Hurried right foot snap. But he pulls it too far and it goes out of bounds and out of bounds on the foot.
And Danny Nooney calling for it, but Hutton only intent on getting his kick. Noonan by himself. All he had to do was farm out a handball.
Tony free to bring it back into play. It's been a very good game of football. Ashcroft gets it away to Retzler. Centering kick. Oh, they're all over
That's
Hutton
a
there.
kick, surely.
Out comes the mouth guard to give the man a chance to say what he wants to say to the umpire. I wonder what it was.
Just testing our microphone operator Brad Smith out. He's equal to the task.
Break.
So Hutton for his second. And he makes no mistake. So John Hutton, 2 in this quarter. And the Bears bounce back 7-9 to 8-6. Again, the margin, Donald, just 3 points.
And Rendell going off and Champion coming on. But this man, Hutton's got incredible body strength for a little fellow. See how he can hold his position. Turner, he forces Turner to give away the free kick more or less through frustration. He propped, he held his position, and Turner was endeavouring to get in front but couldn't.
Goal for goal here at Waverley Park. 8-6, plays 7-9. The Tigers lead by 3 points. Midway through the third quarter. Champion and O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer a distinct height advantage. Looking for Knights. Can't get him. Retzlav. Noonan. The Bears into attack again. Merritt on the half volley. Nicely. Back to Noonan again. He tries to run through. He's still going, Danny Noonan. Pushing it forward. Now he loses it. Waitman. Clever little kick.
Should have gone longer, Danny Noonan. He got a free kick, he got a kick, and he was free. He was by himself, went short to Merritt on the edge of the square. Would have been better to go long.
Right half forward for the Brisbane Bears. Champion doing the ruck work, certainly giving away centimetres. Alexander, in goes Steve O'Dwyer. Kick off the ground by Smith. Lambert can't quite take possession. Again, Smith off the ground. Chance now for Knights, leaves it behind. Smith again for the third time in about 45 metres. There's been a free kick picked out. No, it's out of bounds. So we'll have a throw in right on centre wing. Jackson coming up to do the ruck work. Champion again. Jackson down. Ashcroft can't break clear. The tackle by Lambert. Fair
Good decision.
and very strong. A bit of pushing and shoving there by the boys early in the season, but the umpire says, I'll have nothing of this, I'll just bounce it and you can get on with it. Lambert pushes it on. McIver round the neck, surely. Too high, says the umpire. And Scott McIver in what I would call an uncustomary role for him, playing at centre-half back this evening on Stephen Jackson. And the umpire just telling the boys not to be stupid. Scott McIver looking to give the hand pass away. A little too far for Gastev. Now he's under pressure. What a brilliant tackle by Jackson. And the Tiger fans are ecstatic with that. Look at the face of Stephen Jackson applying the tackle on Gastev, and he gets the free kick. The ball at half forward. A good mark taken by Ryan. Sweeping hand pass, Lambert. Right foot kick. In short. Hamilton can't take it. Goes after it again. McLean gets it away to Cameron. The Bears are out of trouble. Cameron's kick is pretty good. Champion taps it back to his own advantage, but he can't get away from Gale. In goes Walker. He's going to get caught. No. Hand passes away to Bannock. Bannock inside the 50-metre line. Kicks it out towards the wing. Waitman will mark. Richmond doing everything right. Handball away to Lees, and Lees will put them into attack. No, it falls short, and Gastiff marks at centre-half back.
Wants to go on with it quickly, gives it away to David Bain, who's still at half-back, and he just chips probably 25, 30 metres. Kick from Rhett goes up towards half-forward. A chance for the Tigers to clear through Greg Hamilton. Towards the boundary line he goes. And another throw.
Champion now at centre-half forward. Merritt's gone onto the ball for Brisbane.
Retzlaff, 8 kicks and 3 hand passes. Not too bad.
Well, spent considerable time on the bench. Champion in front. Lambert's hand pass partly smothered. Bremen over the top to Lambert. They're off again. Free. Running free. To half forward. Campbell does some holding on. Menegola. Campbell eventually beats him with the football, but it goes over the line, and Menegola turns around and says, "Did I get one by that?"
I'm just going to go back to Lambert. You notice every time he handballs even to the advantage of the player doesn't have to change stride very much. He's able to run onto it all the time. Terrific stuff, Lambert.
An artist. An artist. Young man pondering his side's fortunes. I wonder who he's following. (7-9) plays 8-6, just under 8 minutes remaining in this third quarter. It should be a rip-roaring final turn. Bremen has done some good work since coming on. Gives it away to Waitman, off to Bannock. Now Knights. The left foot puts Richmond inside 50. Oh, almost a strong mark by Ryan McIver, working hard, gives it to Zanotti. Now David Bain, who surprisingly somewhat started on the bench, but their small men did extremely well early on. Lurs. Up to half forward. Lee should be first to it. He'll need help, however. He gets it in the form of Turner, who does well. And away come the Tigers. On centre wing, Ryan accepting it from Gale. To half forward, a long way out is Jeffrey Hall. Wants to get round and kick it high. But Zanotti may be the flyer at the back. He is, but can't take the football. Hamilton's hand pass, good to McIver, just gets it away in time. And they get out of trouble. Retzlaff stabbing in towards half forward, and the mark taken by Richard Champion.
Champion, who's doing the ruck work at the moment. Kick towards full forward at the back. Opportunity now for White. Just gets his foot to the ball, but kicks it wide. Out of bounds at the full. Free kick to Richmond to be taken back there in the back pocket by Brian Lees.
Big leap by Hutton. Brought the ball to ground.
He reminds me a bit of Djakovic.
Interesting. Djakovic, of course, made a fantastic impression. You talk about Allen, of course, not the other boy from the West Coast Eagles.
Melbourne Spear.
Yes, made a terrific impression last year when he eventually got into the Melbourne senior side. Kicked something like 140 goals, I think, for the year.
Yeah, included, I think, 60 in the reserves.
Yeah, reserves. Half forward, getting back to this game. Half forward for the Brisbane Bears. And the umpire will call for a bounce. Both sides obviously striving very hard. It has been noted that pre-season trial games are affected by the early losers in this Foster's Cup series. The club thrown into confusion if they lose, because they've then got to go and try and find opponents for the 3 or 4 practice matches that they've got to play before the season starts somewhere around the end of March.
Well, I think the other thing too, Ian, that's so important is membership drives, off-field activities that can really get the club going.
Yeah, very true, Sandy.
Smith keeps the ball in play. Gastev can't, however, and we'll find ourselves with another throw.
Yes, it's a very, very severe blow to the losers, because even if you lose by, say, the smallest possible margin, one behind, it's still a loss, isn't it?
Yep.
And bit of a problem. Knights at the bottom of the pack. Handballs to no one in particular. Punched away by Lurs, and it's over for another boundary throw-in.
Free kick on that occasion, on that last boundary throw-in against Rendell, but to Jackson, but the umpire didn't see it.
Jackson again in there. Attempted kick off the ground by Bain. Tackles Lambert. No one's really got the football. Plenty of holding and pushing and shoving. The umpire will call for another bounce. The player's about 65 metres from the Richmond goal. In the picture there, the huge back of Roger Merritt. And he looks as though he's going to have a big job again for the Brisbane Bears in season 1992. Clark trying to get the ball clear. Ashcroft can't control it, and he'll have another boundary throw-in.
Started really well, Clark. Has since had a spell on the bench. Now back again.
Lambert 4 kicks and 12 hand passes. And again, what would this be? About the 4th ball up, and we've probably had about 4 throw-ins in the last 3 or 4 minutes. So some unproductive play at left half forward for the Tigers. Gastev, Hamilton, and now McIver. And he gets away. Hand passes in turn to Lurs, onto Bain, and now it's in the open. David Bain streaming through the centre. Hand pass, yes, there's someone there. It's Retzlaff. McLean under pressure leases the player running onto him, but McLean's able to get the kick away to left half forward. Champion overruns it. Turner just kicks it to his own advantage and then handballs it further to Bremen. Bremen's kick towards centre wing. Chipping in is Hamilton. Can't quite take the mark, but goes after it once again. Gives the handball back. Campbell took his eyes off the footy. Retzlaff close to the boundary line. It goes over, and we'll have another boundary throw-in.
Good work by Hutton at the other end of the ground. He really did contest and chase.
My word, he chased very, very hard, Sandy.
Whiteman gives it away. Bremen has had a couple of little chip kicks like that. Here the umpire, let go. Brian Lees will go back and take his kick. He did let go eventually. Goes wide, somewhat dangerously, puts Smith under plenty of pressure. Could have been held when he didn't have the football. Tiger fans don't like it, but there'll be another bounce. It's almost on their 50-metre line.
Lees 13 kicks and 4 hand passes. Has done a good job for Richmond.
Yep. Big pack around this ball. Gastev is forced to contest. Clark scoots away. Been pretty nippy. O'Dwyer gets a bad bounce. Oh. Ripped off the ball when he didn't have it was Robert Walker. Now David Bain's going to pick up a free kick. He wastes no time. To half forward he goes. Gale will get a free kick. In fact, he won't have to worry because the advantage is being paid. Now Maxfield's on that outer side if he gets a kind bounce. He does, but he has to work hard. Eventually tumbles a punt up to half forward. Waiting at the back was Hamilton. Takes it back again. Kicks up towards the half back line. And David Bain, who's been very busy since coming onto the ground, takes the mark. Gives it away to Gastev. And they're out of trouble through Campbell. Up to half forward. Hutton's the target. Edged out. Tigers have the numbers. Gale. Over the top he'll go to Anthony Banning. Cool as a cucumber. They could set something up here possibly. Walker's in trouble though and he's caught. McIver rips him to the ground. McLean it was. Kicked high, up towards half forward. No mark taken. There's McIver with Gastev doing the shepherding work to allow Gastev a short kick on that outer wing. Ashcroft takes it, and the umpire, please get out of the way, says Danny Noonan. Don't worry, Donald. To half forward. Curran is back on the ground after a spell. Knights, hustled and bustled, gives it away to Lees. This is very, very tight, and Maxfield takes the mark on the defensive side of centre.
Yes, one gets the impression that if either side can get a 2 or 3 goal advantage, they'd certainly win this match, but gee, they're not giving an inch, are they? Both teams having a real go at it. Merritt, wide, Ashcroft, a little too high for Gastev. gets the hand pass away, chance for Campbell, and does it pretty well, Matthew Campbell. Kicks it higher towards full forward. Marking contest back here. Hutton's a chance. Will he attempt to kick it off the ground? No, he's brought to the ground by Turner. Could have nearly been another free kick. Off the ground, McLean. Oh, just misses to the right. Through from behind of the Brisbane Bears. So still a tight encounter on the scoreboard, a tight encounter out there on the field.
Before you kick the ball out, you must have everything inside the lines. Okay, both feet.
Now there's an interesting message from the umpire to the fullback. He's giving him the chance. Obviously, Turner is going close to the line when he's kicking in, so he's telling him to make sure everything is behind the line. As Clark is ripped off the football. And it really was a beauty by Lees.
Daffy on for Richmond too, and Mengola off.
And Lees will take the free kick, gives it to O'Dwyer,
who sprints away, sets up the hand pass for Maxwell. Watch the left footer go. In towards full forward. Could almost be a free kick for Hogg, although he stopped and he propped. Over the top goes Nick Daffy. And behind is the result.
Don, would Stuart Maxfield get a game in your 20?
Oh, he picked very early.
He's a real tough little competitor, terrific little competitor. But
he is fantastic.
But also, just in the last two incidents, the game up till now has been really bouncing between the two half back lines. But if you can get the ball in the centre, as Campbell did, and kick it long, you can capitalise. And again, Maxfield got it in the centre, went long. You've got to get over the half forward line.
As Campbell kicks out, the siren sounds. It's set up for a big last quarter here at Waverley Park. Richmond lead, but only by 3 points. The three-quarter time score shows the Tigers 8-7, 55, leading Brisbane 7-10, 52. 14,926 fans enjoying a close, tight game here at Waverley Park in this first round match of the Foster's Cup. Of course, golfing fans will be well aware that the Qantas Skins continues at Port Douglas tomorrow. Long John Daly getting in the money today, but a big pot up early tomorrow. In fact, $37,000 at the first hole. Looking further ahead next week, we go back to Huntingdale for Australia's greatest golfing event, the Pyramid Australian Masters. It's all coming your way on 7, but wherever you may be watching, check your local guides. Peter and Bernie are both down on the boundary line, and I reckon we'd have a couple of coaches that both had a few things to say, gentlemen.
Yes, Andy, well, Robert Walls just asked the players to have the courage to run because the game is up there for grabs. He's very pleased with the form of Hutton at full forward. He said he's leading well, and if he's not getting the ball, at least he's knocking someone to the ground. But the game is there to win if they have the courage to run, as he said. Pete?
Well, Alan Jeans, typically, he's talking about the players going in hard for the ball. It's a man-on-man, it's a man's game. He said, as he said in the first quarter, asked his backmen to get in front and not be led to the ball. And he said they've got to work a lot harder. He said the only man who could sit back is Big Strawberry O'Dwyer in the ruck.
Thank you, Pete. Gentlemen, quick look at the stats.
Well, on the scoreboard, 13 points apiece, but there's nothing much, Ian, to tell in those stats. Maybe the tackles in favour of Richmond.
Yes, I agree there, Don. The tackles for the match are 20 to Richmond, 17 to Brisbane, and that has been a very key point to the game so far.
Okay, here we go. Final quarter in this opening Foster's Cup match. Richmond leads, but only by 3 points. O'Dwyer has done great work tonight. Knights storms through. They'd love an early goal. So too with the Bears. Oh, good mark by Ryan. Thought about going on. Thought about it.
That lady was a little excited, I think.
Stephen Ryan booted 1 goal in the second quarter. This to make the margin 9 points.
Did you take the sixes on offer about Richmond to make the finals this year?
Is that what you got, sixes?
Only got 2 steps.
Here he goes from 40 metres. Gets underneath a drop puck. Coming back. What a start for the Tigers in this last quarter.
Stephen Ryan, he started on the wing. He's kicked his second goal. He really was a prolific goal kicker in 1990, playing off that wing, running off the wing. It was an exceptional season for him. A little quiet last year, but let's hope he recaptures that form of 1990. Playing on Simon Lewis now in the forward pocket.
Rendell looking keen. That not quite tall enough. Attempted kick there by Daffy. Good effort by Smith, but can't get the ball clear. Campbell there for the Bears. Tackle by Maxfield was a ripper. And he's going to be rewarded.
They really have picked up their pattern of play, Richmond, since quarter time.
Don, what are those pads that are just under the players' shorts? What are they for? Is that hamstrings or something? Is
Well,
it?
it keeps the legs warm, man.
Is that right? Chance for Ryan again. Oh, he tackles Gastev. Oh, quick kick. It's another goal to Richmond. Is it Daffy? Down there in the forward pocket. Gee, he got his foot to the ball very, very quickly. And from a difficult angle, has kicked Richmond's 10th goal.
Well, they're the heartbreakers, those goals. Hog in front, ball to ground. Ryan, good tackle by Ryan. Daffy quickly. Really didn't see much daylight between them. In fact, he didn't even look at the goal. He just put it on his boot and hoped, and through it went. His first.
That goal to Daffy will be a confidence booster to the youngster from Mount Gambier. And suddenly, the Tigers have kicked clear. A couple of quick goals. The Bears now having to play catch-up football. McLean caught by Smith. Rendell caught by Maxfield. Pushed wide. McLean chasing, but intercepted. Daffy in there also. Oh, quick tackle on Ashcroft. He had the left arm pinned. Richmond have the numbers. Bannock. To half forward. Over the top comes McIver. Pushing it back down towards centre wing and David Bain. Gastev. To half forward, but no one at home. And the mark again taken by Gale.
It's a good testing time for the Bears now. If they can come back in previous years, they've gone missing at this stage. Now, can they get back into the game?
Ashcroft sweeps it wide. Merritt, long and low. The half forward, they desperately want a goal here, the Bears. Gale overruns it. There could be an opening here. Desperation shown by Curran. He's got to try and beat two of them.
Bad mistake by Gale because he should have picked that up. But then again, that's the pressure of the game. And a good effort by Curran to at least hold the ball up there in the forward line.
Bounce just 15 metres out. O'Dwyer goes over the top. Waitman. Oh, just clever use of the handball. Off to the running Bannock. It's a very cool play. Back to Waitman, who'd followed it down. Wanted Maxfield, didn't go that far. Bain now has the chance to steal it and does. Chips them inside 50 and the mark is taken by Hutton.
One too many handball by Richmond, I felt there when they were trying to clear the ball with Dale Waitman and Bannock and company.
That's your line, John.
This would be a good test for John Hutton.
Definitely make the distance.
He's kicked two, both of those in the third quarter. And they want one here badly. Can't let Richmond run clear. Pretty good looking kick. Badly. So behind and he shakes his head. Well, there's the sort of work that goes on in the coach's box. Now, he had been warned about going over the line. Out comes the mouth guard again.
It amazes me as to why a fullback would ever want to get anywhere near a risk situation. Why do that when, about, say, 12 inches further back, there's no risk whatsoever, is there?
Now there's every chance of giving away a goal. 53 plays 67. Well, that's the defensive side of it coming up. See what he does this time.
Everything inside.
He's still telling him. Scott Turner says, I know.
That's better.
Thank you. Lees was his target. Couldn't find him. Bain gets a kick as he was slung. Costly overrun. Could be very costly. No, great tackle on Cameron. He's got to go.
Yeah.
Great tackle. He fell out of one into the other.
Gee, that's the thing that's changed in the last 10 or 15 years, the tackling. I mean, once upon a time, guys would back themselves. There was a player earlier on in his career was just able to push his way through, was Paul Meldrum from Carlton, always able to brush through tackles was one of his strengths. But today you just cannot even take that risk because most players have got strong bodies and able to stop the player with the football trying to get past. Richmond forcing the ball around this near side wing.
There's a Richmond player down too.
Looks bad, doesn't it, John?
That's Smith, isn't it?
Hurt his left knee.
Yeah, let's have a look at this. The player coming across is Curran.
And he's crashed into his left leg with the knee. And he's in trouble, Craig Smith. Let's hope it's not too serious. Doesn't look too good back there behind play.
He's going
straight off the ground.
It's become an all too common sight in recent years, knee injuries in this game.
Boundary throw in right half forward flank for the Tigers as Smith comes off the ground. And the player coming on is Menegola. And there's Craig Smith in the hands of the trainers. Umpire has called for a bounce at just forward of the centre wing in Richmond's attacking half. They lead 10-7 to 7-12. Rendell doing the ruck work, gets the tap out, but it goes towards Waitman. Pressure is by Hamilton. Waitman's handball.
Played.
Brilliant gather by Lambert. And he'll set up a goal here for Richmond. Maxfield will cap it off. Brilliant football by Lambert.
Late play.
Maxfield gets his first goal, but gee whiz, that was
the hit out from Rendell.
What, back towards the other person's goal?
Going back the other way, surely.
Look at this control.
Dangerous on that occasion, but there he is, the two little fellows involved again. Waitman and Lambert, they are the two responsible since quarter time.
Richmond going on with the job, 11-7 to the Bears, 7-12. Still plenty of time left in this final quarter. We'll check on that injury, knee injury to Smith, but let's hope for Tiger fans and for Craig that it's not too bad. Play goes on. Lambert again trying to do some wizardry. Not successful. Well done by Todd Bremen. Gets it out to Knights. Away they run again. Is that Daffy? The Ducks kick one. It's not going to be two.
Oh, you were waiting for that one, weren't you, eh?
I was hoping he'd beat it, actually.
Daffy, he'd be very impressed with you, Nick. So would Mr. and Mrs. Daffy back home where, what is it? East Gambia, Mount Gambia.
West Gambia.
West Gambia. Somewhere down there in the western border area.
Well, Sandy's big down around Mount Gambia.
Isn't he ever?
Right, back to the football. Campbell. Noonan. Towards half-back. Pushed down in front. Knights leaves it. The long kick comes from Lees, but it's to the left and just sneaks in for one behind.
Ryan back on the ground. Matthew Ryan's gone to the forward pocket. David Cameron's come off for the Bears.
Gee, I've been impressed with his game. He's had 16 kicks and 4 hand passes now. And I get the feeling that he's playing, I think, Don, you mentioned earlier, maybe as a ruck rover, but certainly around that centre. He's a tough, hard player, and he's been getting the ball out in those close contests for Richmond.
He's done well.
Don't hold him.
Campbell.
He's got to throw him to the ground before I play him.
Good kick back into play.
Bremen. Well, that was Rendell on that occasion.
Clark. Up to the half-forward line goes Clark's kick. Curran working hard at the back. So too is Scott. Look at him pounce on that football. He's in trouble. He's surrounded. Bremen comes in for the assist. Flicks round his body, but straight back onto the chest of Clark. He wants to go on with it. To co-small man Bain. Nipping in is Noonan. Over the top he goes to McLean. He's got to centre it. Don said he did. But a very good mark now. He was going to go on with it.
He was going on.
He was going on. Scott Turner. He says, who, me? No, never. Finds Bannock.
Bannock is in the back pocket. Kick a little awkward for Bremen. Can't quite take it with him. Scott under pressure from Hutton. Hutton's still in there, but Bremen for Richmond tries to get the handball wider. He does. Now it finishes with Menegola. His hand pass just slightly intercepted. Knights, O'Dwyer, good one, beautiful little one underneath the player's arms between him and the receiver, up towards full foot. Hogg's got it. Clean mark to Hogg, about 35 metres out directly in front. And I think the Richmond fans that have come out here tonight can look forward to a reasonable season in 1992. And I'm not talking through my pocket either, Sandy. Jeffrey Hogg hasn't had too many chances, but he's kicked one. Hogg shoots for goal, and he may have missed. He has.
Let's go down to the boundary line. Pete McKenna, any news on Craig Smith?
Yes, Sandy. Well, good news for Tigers supporters. Craig Smith seems to only have bruised his knee. He's got his knee heavily wrapped in ice at the moment, but as a precaution because he has had a knee operation a couple of years ago.
Thanks, Pete. Shane Hamilton. Oh, could be dangerous, but they'll get out of it. Zanotti. Come to enjoy his runs in recent years, and so too from this man Gasty. Pinpoint accuracy, Ashcroft. The Bears want goals and they want them rapidly. They're going to figure in a big finish here at Waverley Park. Merritt ripped off the football. Tigers are like terriers at the moment. Menegola sends it back towards the wing. Pushed clear. Bremen keeps it in play. Back to Menegola again. Small men are running. Freeze kick. Dropped short, however, and the mark taken by Campbell. He gives a little ground before switching play back into the centre. Ashcroft is called to play on. He's gone, but he does have backup support. And they do it well. That was with Noonan. To advance to centre half forward through the fingers of Champion at the back. Hutton's hand pass virtually intercepted. Bannock flicks it clear, clever play. Lees again has been busy. His hand pass is good. Off to Bannock. Can afford just a questionable bounce. Gets away with it, and he finds Maxfield. He'll want to go on with it. He pumps it long. Up towards full forward. There's another one.
Too big.
Jackson will shoot from 25 metres out almost directly.
I think Maxfield's kick was a good one. I think he realised also that if he could move it quickly, he was going to get a situation where Jackson would be, well, basically one out against McIver.
A good effort by Jackson. You couldn't blame McIver. He was in front. Lewis behind, attempted to punch, but it was the strong hands of Jackson.
This for number 3 for the Richmond recruit, and he gets it. Good debut by Stephen Jackson. The Tigers are 12-10, leading Richmond 7-12.
Well, they're now starting to go away, the Tigers. It was a critical stage. 3 points, the difference at the start of the last quarter, and here's Maxwell setting it up. They've certainly gone on with it, Richmond. Terrific play. Shown a lot of intestinal fortitude to force their way back into this game.
Matt Rendell, what can he do to just fire up the Bears? Not much, I wouldn't think. 9.5 minutes left. Bremen. Chance again for Lees. This time his kick is, well, perhaps you could consider that effective. At least he got the ball away from the centre area. And it's a boundary throw-in on centre wing member's side. That's Clark for the Bears. O'Dwyer, who's done a fantastic job in the ruck. Lees again. Kick number 18. Jackson. And Hamilton there for the Brisbane Bears. Sees it over for a boundary throw-in on the 50-metre line.
Rendell's gone off again. Darryl White's come on. That'll mean that Merritt goes into the ruck. Yes, there he is, Merritt.
Menegola. Lures over to Campbell. Campbell kicks it long. And Ryan marks just wide of the centre for the Brisbane Bears. There's about 3 kicks from the Bears' goal. He kicks it high towards the 50-metre line. Maybe it's only 1 kick. Hutton flew high. Chance there for Alexander. Away to McLean. McLean's kick is not bad. It's a goal to the Brisbane Bears. What, you didn't think it was going through?
I was riding that through on that occasion. I just didn't think it'd carry. It was an up and under shot by McLean. just bounced on the line.
Gee, you'd think the Richmond were about 10 goals behind. The look on Francis Burke's face, wouldn't you?
That's what coaching does to you.
And McLean's kick, well, I suppose it could have just sat straight up in the air, but good fortune for the Bears. He gets his first goal. The Bears get their 8th. 12-10 plays 8-12. It's still Richmond by 22 points.
Noonan and Knights. O'Dwyer. He's done wonderfully well tonight. Alexander runs into and out of trouble. Floats a high one. They want 3 or 4 very quick goals. McLean around his body down towards Hutton. Don't think he tried to take that. He tried to tap it wide. Not successful, however. Gale gets a hurried kick towards the boundary line, and Noonan will see it over. And Gale just having a slight ankle problem. We'll keep an eye on him. Throw in once more. Ashcroft does the shepherding work for Bain, who flicks it round his body. This will be close. Oh. Don has got it through again. Well, that's incredible. There's an incredible goal. 9-12 to 12-10.
Well, he really, from that position, Sandy, should have centred the ball, David Bain. But he's gone for it. The ball across the body. You've got to have a certain amount of luck, and he did on that occasion.
If he'd have centred it, it probably would have landed in Lees's hands.
So 2 quick goals to the Brisbane Bears, and they are fighting out this game. 66 plays 82. Over 8 minutes remaining. They want the next one. Let's see what happens from the centre. Tigers have the numbers. Daffy to the half-forward line. Richmond player pulled off the ball. That's Jackson. And he will take the free kick. Held when he didn't have it. Peter Curran can't believe it. Hogg gives him a lead. Got to sit and wait for that ball a little. And it goes over the line in the right forward pocket. Inside Richmond's 50-metre attacking zone.
McIver's now at centre-half forward. We just saw Curran, who was in picture. He's at centre-half back.
Throw in again. Jackson jostling, goes to ground. Waitman a chance here. He'll have to be quick.
Play on. Play on.
Daffy almost intercepted. Alexander gets it off to Clark. His kick is high, straight into the centre. No mark taken. Alexander bursts through. He's got a ton of pace. We saw that earlier. Now here's an opportunity for Ryan. He goes goalwards, and suddenly the Bears come storming home with 3 quick goals.
What marvellous work by Alexander, because he started down in the back pocket. He followed it up, got onto the ball, and then got it across to Ryan. That was great play by Alexander.
And gets the impression that maybe Richmond thought that they were going to coast to a victory. Concentration lapse. Bears get 3 goals. Maybe McLean's bouncing. Bain a little freakish, but that was a good goal by Ryan.
And good news for Richmond supporters that Craig Smith is jogging around the boundary line. So it doesn't appear to be as bad as what we initially thought.
And there is plenty of time left for the Bears to win this match. The centre bounces are going to be a big crunch. Who can get it out? Kick off the ground by Ashcroft. Bremen wide, goes to Menegola. Menegola's kick towards half forward, nearly the mark to Curran. Merritt comes clear from half back, kicks it awkwardly and straight into the arms of Bremen. His hand pass is not bad. Daffy, who kicked a goal earlier in this quarter and has done some good things. There's a free kick, is it, Don?
My word. Very, very blatant. Hands in the back of Dale Waitman.
Against.
Just couldn't pick it up.
Could have been Hamilton, maybe,
Could
who
have
I
been
think
Hamilton.
has been playing on Waitman back there. Dale Waitman with 19 possessions, still a good player for Richmond.
Yeah, this is interesting because Dale doesn't know where the mark is. Roger Merritt, who's on the mark, has gone back. So this will be interesting to see what happens here.
200 games, surely won't kick it to the man on the mark. No, he gets around Merritt, makes it a bit easier. and then kicks it out of bounds.
Well, that's good play by Merritt, wasn't it? To go back that far, because Waitman was uncertain of where the mark was, and Merritt was coming at him.
Straight over.
Merritt goes and rubs him on top of the head and says, "Bad luck, Flea."
Well, that's true.
McIver's off too, and the camera's on too, sorry.
Both players well in excess of 200 games. Tremendous players for in the AFL over the years. There he is again, Roger Merritt, working very hard at ground level. Todd Bremen. Statistics not all that outstanding for Roger, but gee, he's been a good player for a long time. O'Dwyer punched away by Menegola, was it? And
see, just the work he did earlier in the centre bounce. This is Merritt. He nullified O'Dwyer. He jumped a little bit early, nullified him. So that's the first time O'Dwyer's never really got his hand to the ball the whole game.
Too true. Jackson's handball looks for Waitman. It goes over for a boundary throw-in. So the Tigers wouldn't be too worried about this. Time ticking away. Under 6 minutes left now. But still, the game is in the balance. Jackson fighting for possession close to the line, goes over once again. 5.5 minutes left, and the scoreboard indicating Richmond leading by 10 points.
From the throw-in, out the back it goes. Lambert. Retzlaff. Socket clear. The Bears want the next one if they have any chance at all.
Good run.
Curran's kick is an opportunity for David Bain. He gets a very poor bounce. Bannock loses it, and that was bad play. McLean takes advantage of it, across to Cameron. David Cameron. Long in towards full forward. The Bears want to mark at the back through Hutton. They can't take it. Gale will soccer through defensively. And what's he done? Just sneak it in from behind.
Oh, Alexander got a little excited. I think he thought it could have been out of bounds on the full. Gee, what a shocking mistake that would have been if it had been a free kick.
Robert Walls sensing perhaps that his side could get up here. 9 points in it. 5 minutes remaining.
It's plenty of time.
And Scott Turner to bring it back in. Ah, yes, he's learnt now. Gale in front, couldn't take it. Umpire saying no mark as Bain flicks it towards Hutton, couldn't take it on the half volley. Alexander, he's like greased lightning, but he can't get clear. He does eventually, he shoots, and the mark has been taken right on the line by Clark. So this could make the margin just 5 points. Or 4, or 3.
Oh, we'll try 4.
Oh dear.
It's early days, I haven't got the batteries for the computer yet.
There's an abacus in my bag at the back.
Well, he's kicked it, and the Bears are in touch.
It was a good effort by Alexander in the pocket then, but also the pressure must be terrific out there, because the mistakes these players are making are only due to the pressure that they're putting on one another. And here it is, a good effort by Hutton to get in front. Alexander, this is a great effort. Watch him get his kick, despite Tony Free's tackle. And Clark right in the right place at the right time.
And Robbo, I've worked it out. There's only 3 points in it.
Well done, Sandy. 4.5 minutes left, and the Bears, to their credit, have made a magnificent run at the Tigers here in the last 5 or 6 minutes. They've kicked 4 goals. Richmond looked as though they may have had the game won, but the Bears, terrific stuff. Kick towards centre wing. No mark taken, but Retzlaff just taps it to his advantage, gathers the ball, kicking towards full forward. Hutton can't mark. Turn it. Knocks it away. Bannock there.
Oh,
he's caught. Good tackle by Cameron.
Throwing the ball.
And throwing the ball against Bannock. Cameron will take the free kick outside 50. Well, the Bears may snatch a great victory here in the dying minutes of the game.
Oh.
Short kick's a shocker. Scott diving on it, Lambert. Handball wide, and Knight's in trouble. They're all in trouble, Richmond back there. Now an opportunity for McLean. Shot for goal. Right on the line is marked back there by Menegola. Away to Gale. Gee, they're still taking risks, but they're coming off, are they? Hamilton takes a punt. Now handballs away to Menegola. And now Richmond are out of trouble as Menegola kicks it wide towards the wing. Out there is Curran. Strong stuff, but he left the ball behind. Maxfield, terrific. In comes Free. He kicks the ball towards full forward. Zanotti and Hogg. They've had a great battle all night. Hogg has kicked just 1 goal. And a rush behind to the Tigers.
That was terrific play by Maxfield out on centre wing there. Curran had it all set up. He was going hard too, but he just threw himself at it. Just over 3 minutes left too.
Well, it's still plenty of time. That's dangerous.
Oh dear.
Tiger fans roaring as they sense that perhaps Ryan can do something. That little bloke's going to be hoarse tonight.
Gee, what a mistake there by Mark Zanotti in a tight game. Hasn't made many.
No, he hasn't. Ryan sending the Tigers back to the square once more. Hammered over the line. Throw in Richmond's right forward pocket. They won't mind if they bottle it up there.
Mark Zanotti's capable of making one bad mistake a game, and that was it on that occasion.
From the throw-in. No one going anywhere rapidly. A reminder, of course, that if scores are level at the end of the game, there will be 2 5-minute periods with time on to be played. And that could well happen. Maxfield again pulls it round his body with that left foot, going across the face of goal and out of bounds, this time in the left forward pocket.
Sense of urgency there by Zanotti to get the ball to the boundary umpire.
Precious seconds, of course, ticking away, Robbo, for the Bears. We're down to 2:38. Waitman in front of the pack. No one to get a clear kick for Richmond. It was Hamilton for the Bears.
Good effort. He's done a great effort, Noonan, because he put Knights right out of the game.
Gastev can't control it, however, and again it goes over the line.
Well, they had to take the punt. They must keep playing on, and just a little slip there over on that far half-back flank, and the ball is still in Richmond's scoring area. There's the time left up in the left-hand corner, but the Bears still a chance. Curran, his kick, it may have been touched off the boot, was it?
Yep.
And a throw-in will take place. Gee, it's been a very interesting, tight struggle all night. And
Merritt nullifying O'Dwyer too.
still only less than a goal in it. O'Dwyer, will that be a free kick for him? No, it's going the other way against O'Dwyer, and it'll be taken by Merritt. Roger looking for a 50-metre penalty, but not forthcoming. Gets the handball away to Hamilton. Hamilton's long kick in towards the centre. Cameron a little late. Well, that could have been against Retzlaff. The ball comes back towards Bain. He slips the tackle, kicks it across his body towards half forward. Bannock getting in possession. Can't mark. Hamilton over the top. Here's a chance now for Ryan. Handball smothered brilliantly by Turner. He went straight at the football, Scott Turner, and forced it over for a boundary throw-in, and that could be very critical in the final wash-up. Less than 2 minutes left. Can the Tigers hang on, or can the Bears snatch a victory here? Punched straight back over the boundary line for another throw-in.
It's a good play there, O'Dwyer.
1:33 remaining, and a kick in it.
It's all right again.
Might see a few of them. Precious seconds tick away. Concern in the Tiger camp. After looking to have an unassailable lead, the Bears have come storming home in this final quarter. Merritt and O'Dwyer. Umpire says mine. And what a tremendous pipe opener to the 92 season.
Best Foster's Cup game I have seen. The best opening game anyway. I wouldn't say the best game I've seen, but it's the best opening game.
Knights. Here's a chance for the Tigers to clear. There's under a minute remaining. The Bears must lock it up and get down into that scoring zone. Ryan sees it over the line. Still in Brisbane's attacking zone. Play on called. Waitman, the experience of Waitman. No hand pass this time, the long kick down to the 50-metre line. Zanotti this time gets a favourable bounce. Just gets away from Hogg, who was desperately lunging towards him. Maxfield. This boy is a terrier. Clever tap onto a teammate. You can see him there at the corner of his eye. It was Menegola. Clark, however, steals it. Under 30 seconds remaining. Into the centre. And a timely mark taken by Jackson. That could be the ball game. He gives it to Lambert. Possession now. Out wide. Interception. A last gasp here by the Brisbane Bears. Darryl White 5 seconds remaining. He's got to kick it. He's got to kick it long, but he's too late unless he can kick it from there. He has a shot, but it falls well short. And Richmond record a 4-point victory in a fabulous game of football in the opening game of this Foster's Cup. The final scoreline, Richmond 12-11. 83. Brisbane 11-13. 79. Briefly, Don, summing up.
Oh, it was just a fantastic game. The pressure of Brisbane early was terrific, but then all credit to Richmond. The way they really came back into this game was up for grabs at quarter time. They went on with it, Richmond, but then the Brisbane Bears picked them back. Terrific opening from both sides.
So a fantastic match. Victory to the Tigers. In the second round, they will meet the reigning champions, Hawthorn.
This has been another 7 Sport production, the network of the 1992 Barcelona Olympics.